Hello and good day. Welcome to Punchline, and we are First News Nation. On Punchline, we discuss national politics, and as usual, national politics. It's always our privilege to have you join us on our channel through your device. And talking about channels, we'd like to invite you to all our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at First News Nation. Go ahead, take a step further and enable notifications on all these platforms to get the latest updates on all our shows. Ladies and gentlemen, the campaigns have begun. The campaigns towards the 2023 general election coming up around February, March 2023. The campaigns have officially kicked off and a flurry of activities are expected. We have some related stories about that, but we'll be talking about lists. You know the lists I'm talking about. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back. First story, we talked about it before we went on the break, is about the lists. Nothing is more important in Nigeria today. The conversation has never been thicker than about lists. It's not about the candidates. It's not about the political parties. It's a list the political parties have released. But of all the lists we talked about that have made headlines recently, the most controversial is the list of the APC Presidential Campaign Council that has one name that has gotten tongues wagging, the name of the current senator representing Enugu East Senatorial District in the National Assembly, former governor of Enugu State, Senator Chimaroke Nnamani, who stands at number 350 on that list. Now, everyone is asking what a PDP man is doing on an APC list. The controversy has raged in recent times. As a matter of fact, we've seen some campaign posters show up immediately after the list was published or when the whole talk about the list came out. Some campaign posters cropped up in Enugu, capital city of Enugu State, showing Senator Chimaroke and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's the list we're talking about. Many people thought it was a mistake. Many people felt, it probably is a typo error. It probably is that the name was mistaken for former Senate President, Senator Ken Nnamani. Well, we expected a statement from Senator Chimaroke Nnamani. None has surfaced yet, no list at all. As a matter of fact, some cryptic messages have been showing up on social media and on his Twitter and Facebook pages. So we see that the name of a PDP man is on the APC Presidential Campaign Council list. Guess whose name was not on that list? I checked from top to bottom. Reminds me of a song. Social media from top to bottom. That's not what we're talking about. But the name that was missing conspicuously was the name of the former Senate President, who is an APC leader, Senator Ken Nnamani. Is not on that list. I've checked it out. Except you see it, I haven't. But the PDP man, Senator Chimaroke Nnamani's name is on that list. Now, we expected that the APC will come out and say, well, it's not true. It's a typographical error. We're going to rectify it and bring back a real list without Chimaroke Nnamani's name at number 350 or whatever. But Festus Keyamo, the APC campaign spokesperson, has come out to say it was not a mistake that Senator Chimaroke Nnamani of the PDP in Enugu East Senatorial District is actually a member of the Presidential Campaign Council, that there is no electoral law, no provision in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that limits any party member from campaigning on the platform of any other political party. Some of us who are very naive in politics think this used to be called anti-party activity. Hear what Festus Keyamo had to say about this in this next video. We'll be right back.
You've been given explanations as to some of the exclusions on the list of your campaign council. For example, there is an inclusion from another political party. It looks like there are a few errors on your campaign council, isn't it?
What are the errors?
Senator Nnamani, the former governor of Enugu State, who appeared on your campaign council, is it an error or was it deliberate?
Well, all I can tell you now is that there has been no refutal from the part of Senator Nnamani. That should be, the refutal should come from that end, not from us.
So, I mean, clarify it for us, because it's a bit confusing. If Nigerians think that Senator Nnamani is an APC, is a PDP member, but is on your campaign council, give us an understanding, since you speak for the campaign organization, whether or not that was deliberate, it was intentional, or was it an error?
Campaigning for a political party on which platform you wish to contest an office is a choice. It's not a legal problem. It's a matter of the internal rules of that political party. So we'll leave that political party to deal with it according to its internal rules. But I can tell you, as a lawyer, I just look at the Constitution. That's all I look at, and the Electoral Act. There's no provision in the Electoral to the Constitution that says that, you know, you have to campaign for a presidential candidate of your party at all costs. You are in Nigeria. Don't forget that there's a fundamental right in, in our Constitution, to freely, associate with whoever you want to associate with. So if you associate with the party, you don't believe in any of his candidates, and you want to campaign for the candidates of another party in respect of a particular office, I think that is an issue that that other party should deal with. We will not deal with that, but like I tell you, his name appeared on our list. Up till now, there is no refutal on the other side. The refutal should come from the other side.
So, the question on your lips, the question in my mind is Senator Chimaroke Nnamani an APC sympathizer? Is he what we see in the crop of politicians today, nationally one party and locally another party? Is he nationally PDP and locally APC, or is it the other way round? He has been listed alongside a lot of other APC stalwarts. No PDP member on that list except himself, in a particular directorate called Local Government Directorate. I'm going to talk about that in my take later. But interestingly, he is also on the PDP campaign list for the 2023 general election. So Senator Chimaroke will be having a part-time job in PDP and a part-time job in APC. Or is it a full-time in PDP and a part-time in APC? We're going to watch how that looks like. Right now, social media is on fire. Let's go for a break. We'll come back with my second story, and it's going to be very interesting. Okay, we have returned with the second story, and recent times the conversation has always been around Nyesom Wike and his camp. By the way, the latest information is Nyesom Wike returning with a private jet that was allegedly bought by former governor of Rivers State and Dr. Peter Odili, and then stashed away somewhere in Europe, allegedly by the immediate past governor of Rivers State. I'm talking about His Excellency Rotimi Amechi. That's not the story. The story is there a crack within the Wike DP? Yes, it's a new one coined because, PDP, and then Wike has a part, so it's Wike DP. Let's leave that beside. Samuel Ortom, governor of Benue State, has made a 360-degree turnaround and seems to be supporting the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, the embattled Senator Iyorchia Ayu, who has come under fire from the Wike camp. The Wike camp, we believe that Samuel Ortom, governor of Benue State, is a member of. Now, in recent statement released by his chief press secretary, it seems that the governor of Benue has decided to pitch his tent with the national chairman. He said that he was part of those who actually worked tirelessly to make sure Iyorchia Ayu becomes national chairman of the PDP. Why would he work against someone who he worked tirelessly to ensure emerge as national chairman? And this seems to have confused a lot of us naive political watchers. That's another coin, another name I'm calling those of us who have watched politics for a while, but because of the way Nigerian politicians constantly change, we have moved to become the naive political watchers. It's the same Governor Otto who said that he supports the Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi. He said that, and he is of the PDP. It's the same Governor Otto who joined the Wike camp to withdraw from the PDP Presidential Campaign Council. How can you withdraw from a PDP Presidential Campaign Council and still support the national chairman? Educate us. It's the same Governor Samuel Otto. So, with the names of politicians being bandied around in opposing parties, you will not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if I see Governor Otto's name on the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council list or the APC Presidential Campaign Council list. Nothing in Nigeria should shock anybody. Don't be shocked. If you're shocked, that means there's a lot of power in your area. Still talking about someone from the PDP who has come seriously under fire is a man a lot of people had sympathies for after the Supreme Court declared against him in the Imo governorship election. And that's former Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha. He has warned his kinsmen and supporters that anyone working for the Labour presidential candidate, Peter Obi, is a saboteur. That's what was credited to him. This was something he said during New Yam Festival, and I read this. He claimed that there were only two recognized political parties in Nigeria, the APC and the PDP. Let's remind ourselves he's off the PDP, but he actually put the APC first. So his name probably will be on that campaign council list. Nigeria is in search of leadership. We cannot stay away. I understand the ethics. It is either we get involved or we are not involved. There are two parties, the PDP and the APC. Those who don't know should know APC is the name of criminals, according to him, rogues among other names. If you vote any other place, you are a saboteur. Now, in his defense, he's probably saying that if you vote as outside the PDP, you're a saboteur. Or if you vote outside the APC, then you're a saboteur. So it's confusing. Remember what I said about politicians confusing us? Who is the saboteur? Governor Ihedioha. He was once a governor, so we can call him governor. After that, a lot of people said a lot about him on social media. A lot of people are regretting ever having sympathies for him when he lost the Supreme Court judgment. Yes, when he wasn't awarded in his favor. He said, after Atiku Abubakar, the next president will come from the southeast of Nigeria. And true to word, the PDP presidential candidate actually was in Enugu. And he said that after his tenure, which will not be 4 years, definitely will be 8 years, that the power will shift to the southeast of Nigeria. I have issues about that because his running mate is from the south-south. Governor Ifeanyi Okowa is from Delta State. So which vice president, if PDP wins, would want to step aside after serving for 8 years and not taking a shot at the presidency? That will be a conversation for another day. Another break. When we return, it will be my take, and we'll be right back.
This is Niger Feedback.
We're back, and this is still Punchline, and we are First News Nation. Don't forget, if there are any of these stories that piques your interest, please go ahead and put your comments in the comments section below. We've been seeing comments come in, and we really appreciate it. One of these days, we're going to go back and look at all the comments that have been generated from all our previous shows, either on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or Instagram. So go ahead and like any of those platforms. Enable notifications to get latest updates on all our shows. I am Sammy Ajufo. This is my take. My take is about the lists. The lists, especially those who were not on the list, and the lists of the list I call the Part B forgotten list. Now, who was not on that list that should have been on that list? The obvious one everyone has been wondering about is the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He was exempted for the list. And then Festus Keyamo, the APC spokesman, said that the president has decided to exclude the vice president who actually had contested for the presidential ticket and lost at the APC primaries. He said he's exempting him from being part of the list, from being part of the campaign council. Wow. Why? Everyone is asking. And the obvious question is it because he lost? Maybe he will not even be so cheerful if he's on the campaign trail. Why would he be on the list? Why is he exempted? Now, the excuse, according to Festus Keyamo, is that not everyone can be on that list. Some people have to actually stay back and watch the kids at home. That's not what they said, but that's what it means. It says someone has to stay back and see to the business of governance. I'd like to draw everyone's attention to the fact that the United Nations General Assembly recently took place the same time period and the same day that late Queen Elizabeth II was buried. The president went to the UN General Assembly in New York, and the vice president went where? To see the Queen. Who was left to run Nigeria? The secretary to the government of the Federation. So, a few people should not be on that list. Another person who is not on that list is a very good friend, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, Minister of Information. Why is he not on that list? Is it because you have a Festus Keyamo, so you don't need a Lai Mohammed? I didn't also see Femi Fani-Kayode on that list. Maybe he was there, I didn't notice. I didn't see him on that list, which is really surprising. Maybe I'll check again. You check that list and see if you see Femi Fani-Kayode. I didn't see him on that list. That's the second person I'm really interested. Why is he not on that list? The vice president is not there. Former Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, who, alongside the former Secretary of the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, both of them have said, we don't support Muslim ticket. Maybe because of their disagreement, they decided, don't put them on the list. We don't want problems with them. Remember Dogara? He was under the PDP, became Speaker, served, left. Remember Babachir Lawal? He was under the APC, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, indicted for cutting grass for millions of naira. They call it the grass cutter scandal. Yes, he's not also on that list. Geoffrey Oyama, Minister of Foreign Affairs, is not also on that list. Maybe he too has to stay back to make sure he addresses visitors who come to visit, maybe foreign nationals or foreign envoys. That's probably why he's not on that list. Sullivan Chime, Governor of Enugu State, former Governor of Enugu State, also a member of the APC, the camp from the PDP to the APC. He's not on that list. I wonder why. Another person who is really interesting, who is not on that list, seems to be the one who has never been forgiven for actually going against the Jagaban. Former Governor of Lagos State, Ambode, is not on that list. I wonder why. Has anyone asked where Ambode is? He's so forgotten that he's actually not even represented on the list. He's not anywhere. He's not even in the campaign group of Bola Tinubu. Neither is he in the campaign group of Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Where are these men and why are they not on that list? Here's the part B of this list, which is really interesting. From number 278 to 365 on the APC Presidential Campaign Council list are people who used to be very powerful in APC. Yes, I say used to be. Former governors are on that list, some ministers are on that list, parliamentarians are on that list, and others. They are all on the list. I won't mention the names. The list is actually showing right now. But all these people were not placed in the main groups, like the main directorates. You know, we have some new names showing up. But these names are powerful names, and they're not on that list. That's where Senator Chimaroke Nnamani is also. And you know the most ironic or interesting thing on that list? What they call the list, they call it Local Government Directorate. Like, okay, you guys just stay here. We don't know where to put you, but just all of you just stay here. Sit in this bus. Bus reminds me of, let's leave the bus issue. But that's the problem I'm having right now. Why didn't they place them to be at least deputy directors in some places? You know, even the vice president of Nigeria was not even made deputy chairman too. So there are people who are on that list that I wonder how they'll feel. You have names who are really known. As the Attorney General is on that list. You know, some people you feel should have been directors or deputy directors, and they are not there. Senator Nnamani is not on that list. So my question is, why are these men excluded from this list? Is it from the presidency? Is it from Bola Ahmed Tinubu? I don't want them on the list. Or are these guys not influential enough? That's the question that will be bugging the minds of a lot of people. But this is what's happening right now. The campaigns have started, so no one is going to care about lists. But everyone is going to care about one person, and that's you. Those of you watching, you're the bride. After the bride of Christ, you're next. There's going to be a lot of rice going around. I've said this before, there's going to be a lot of rice going around. A lot of politicians will come on your street, and when they get on your street, if you have anything to sell, bring it out and put it on the street. Because if you're frying akara, they will help you. If you're selling okpa, they will help you. If you're making anything, they'll bring your kids out, they'll kiss your kids. Whatever it is, be visible. Politicians always want a good Photoshop, a photo shoot, or photo op, whatever it's called. But at the end of the day, your PVCs are more important. Choose wisely who will be your leaders in the forthcoming 2023 general election, so we don't end up complaining or marching on the streets in the next 4 years. Next 4 years will be hot, global warming. I don't want to be on the road protesting or rallying for anybody. On behalf of everyone who's been a yeoman, being very instrumental, and a key researcher and deputy producer, Regina Solomon, very, very nice young lady. Michael, thank you very much for being around. And very, very big thank you to the other members who have also made this production very wonderful. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sammy Ajufo. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all our social media handles as we see again the politics of Nigeria here on Punchline. Enjoy the rest of your week, and God bless you.